What is the theory, method, and philosophy of teaching referred to as?
Strong choice. Pedagogy is the right answer. What is the main goal of engaged pedagogy as proposed by bell hooks?
Well-reasoned. To emphasize the well-being of students and teachers is the correct choice. What is the end goal of a lesson following the RVM Ignatian pedagogy? Excellent. Transfer of learning is a brilliant choice. Collaborative learning experiences in pedagogy help students develop.
You chose teamwork skills and communication skills, and it is correct. List the areas of science involved in understanding how people learn.
Excellent choice. Social psychology, affective theory, cognitive psychology is the right answer. What type of knowledge pedagogy has been implemented by the Academy? Smart pick. Substantive and disciplinary knowledge is the correct choice. Is it possible for a teacher to use critical pedagogy without bias? Right choice. Potentially, but not likely is the best answer. What is the fear of the oppressors in pedagogy of the oppressed? Right again. Losing their influence is a valid answer. Why must teachers practice self-actualization in engaged pedagogy? On track. To empower students and be open to vulnerability is the correct answer. Scientific concepts characteristic of the discipline of pedagogy. Correct response. Education. Education. Teaching is the most accurate answer. One of the most important categories in pedagogy and psychology. Well done. Personality development is the right choice. What are the benefits of using non-linear pedagogy in education? Great thinking. Promotes critical thinking, problem-solving skills, creativity, and adaptability is the right choice. Will you teach culturally responsive pedagogy in your classroom? Valid point. Yes is true. Who entered the history of pedagogy called Pygmalion effect? Clear logic. Your choice, Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson, is sound and 100% true. What are some examples of Ignatian pedagogy in the classroom? Good thinking, reflection exercises, experiential learning, discernment of spirits, Ignatian examen is the right answer. Who created the first model of feminist pedagogy in schools? Exactly. Paulo Freire makes sense, and it is right choice. New pedagogy activities for gifted students in the classroom. Bravo! Optimization function is the answer. What is the main issue faced by students in oral pedagogy? Great job. Lack of motivation for developing communicative competence is the accurate answer. Studies human upbringing specifics at various age levels. Perfect. Age-related pedagogy is the correct choice. In Hikmah pedagogy, the teacher in the class acts as dash. Sharp thinking. Facilitator is the right choice. Culturally relevant pedagogy is composed of 3 parts. You're right. Academic success, cultural competence, and critical consciousness is the correct answer. What are some examples of non-linear pedagogy in action? Smart move. Problem-based learning, project-based learning, inquiry-based learning, and experiential learning is an accurate answer.
The lesson taught as an independent pedagogical subject.
Solid response. Military pedagogy is a valid choice. What role does technology play in contemporary pedagogy? You got it? Your choice, it's utilized to enhance engagement and collaboration, is right.
What does PAC stand for in the context of e-learning?
Nice selection. Technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge is the correct and valid answer.
A form of research of teaching methodology of pedagogy.
Correct. The process of pedagogy is the right answer.
Which of the following is a learning style?
Nicely done. Visual is a solid answer.
What is a characteristic of content-related pedagogy?
Well picked. Using suitable instructional strategies is the correct answer.
The study of words and how they are formed is called.
Nice work. You chose morphology and it is correct.
What is the main idea of pedagogy of the oppressed?
Good job. Your answer, the importance of critical pedagogy, works well here.
How many trainers are there in the pedagogy team now?
Correct response. Fightim is the most accurate answer.
What does critical pedagogy encourage in classrooms?
Clear logic. Your choice, all of the above, is sound and 100% true.
What is the goal of generative themes in education?
You're right. To facilitate complex discussions is the correct answer.
What does critical pedagogy emphasize in education?
Correct. All of the above is the right answer.
What is reflective practice in effective pedagogy?
Perfect. Continuous improvement through reflection and professional development is the correct choice.
How does effective pedagogy prioritize engagement?
Smart pick. By utilizing interactive lessons and multimedia resources is the correct choice.
Differentiated instruction in pedagogy refers to.
Solid response. Tailoring teaching methods to meet individual student needs is a valid choice.
Who established the concept of critical pedagogy?
Nice work. You chose Paulo Freire, and it is correct.
What is the main objective of Freirean pedagogy?
Bravo! Increase humanity is the answer.
Which is not a feature of post-method pedagogy.
Well picked. Eclecticism is the correct answer.
Who introduced bell hooks to critical pedagogy?
On track. Paulo Freire is the correct answer.
In what century pedagogy has become a science?
Great thinking. 6V is the right choice.
Pedagogy is a Greek word which literally means.
Nice selection. To lead the child is the correct and valid answer.
What is the main purpose of critical pedagogy?
Good thinking. Encourage students to critique structures of power and oppression is the right answer.
What does critical pedagogy seek to transform?
You got it. Your choice, all of the above, is right.
What does critical pedagogy aim to eliminate?
Strong choice. All of the above is the right answer.
What subsystem does family education include?
Great job. Social pedagogy is the accurate answer.
Cultural responsiveness in pedagogy involves.
Well reasoned. Valuing and integrating diverse perspectives into the curriculum is the correct choice.
What are the principles of Ignatian pedagogy? Excellent. Context, experience, reflection, action, and evaluation is a brilliant choice.
What does the term pedagogy mean in Greek?
You chose V, leader, and it is correct.
What is the focus of the Academy's pedagogy?
Nicely done. Adapting the pedagogy is a solid answer.
What is the important component in pedagogy?
Sharp thinking. All the above is the right choice.
How can critical pedagogy benefit students?
Excellent choice. Helps enhance student consciousness, understanding, and judgment is the right answer.
Where does the word pedagogy come from?
Smart move. Greek is an accurate answer.
How pedagogical methods are distributed?
Right again. Individual case work, social group work, community intervention work is a valid answer.
What is the origin of critical pedagogy?
Right choice. Brazil is the best answer.
What is culturally responsive pedagogy?
Well done. All of the above is the right choice.
What does pedagogy primarily focus on?
Good job. Your answer, facilitating active learning, works well here.
The theory of self-determined learning. Valid point. Heutagogy is true. What are the knowledge area of TPAC? Exactly. Technology, pedagogy, and content makes sense, and it is right choice.
What is culturally relevant pedagogy?
Right again. Pedagogy that empowers students by using cultural reference is a valid answer.
What is the definition of pedagogy?
Good thinking. The theory, method, and philosophy of teaching is the right answer.
Teaching about the research process.
You chose methodology, and it is correct.
Teaching in the pedagogical process.
Exactly. This is a formality of the student's personality makes sense, and it is right choice.
The purpose of Hikmah pedagogy dash. Nicely done. To acquire Hikmah as a life guide is a solid answer. What are the origins of pedagogy?
Correct response. It came from ancient Greece is the most accurate answer.
A medium for delivery of content.
Nice work. You chose instructional materials, and it is correct.
The highest values in pedagogy.
Clear logic. Your choice V. Human life, culture, education is sound and 100% true.
In pedagogy, computer is used to.
Great thinking. For all the above is the right choice.
4 common forms of pedagogy.
On track. Social critical culturally responsive isocratic is the correct answer. Post-method pedagogy is dash. Solid response. An alternative to methods is a valid choice. Pedagogy is concerned with
Smart move. Teaching methods is an accurate answer.
How do you define pedagogy?
excellent choice. Teacher-led learning is the right answer. The word pedagogy means
Great job. To lead the child is the accurate answer.
the TPAC framework merges
Smart pick. All of the above is the correct choice. Pedagogy is the study of. Valid point. Teaching methods is true.
What is motor learning? Well done. In the development of new biological reactions is the right choice.
Yay, Kamensky's work.
Strong choice. D. Great didactics is the right answer.
What is e-pedagogy?
Bravo. Tools are used to enhance teaching and learning is the answer.
What is tip?
You got it. Your choice. Turnaround technology, integration, pedagogy, and planning is right.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format.
Perfect. Contact Narayan Chengder is the correct choice.